The question today is, when your spouse look at you, can they honestly say that they see Christ in you? When your husband look at you as the wife, when your wife look at you as the husband, can she or he say with honest truth that they see Christ in you?
Yeah.
And that is what we're going to be talking about on today. Welcome back to my Darling Bride podcast with the Yemlos. On this podcast, we dig, discover, and deploy biblical gems for the building or rebuilding of kingdom homes and relationships.
Yes, we are on a mission to equip couples on how to build on a rock-solid foundation,
Yes.
cultivate a culture of honor and respect, invest intentionally and consistently in your marriage and your relationship, defend your union, and lastly, empower one another towards purpose fulfillment.
Absolutely. Equipped to bride.
Yes.
Like we always say, this is where love meets legacy. But like we like to say, this is where real love meets real talk. We got a good one for you on today. Let's get it. All right, so can your spouse see Jesus in you when they look at you? Today we started this month talking about what marriage is to us, right? And we wanted to go over the 4 core things, amongst many other things, that marriage is. And we've said that marriage, number 1, is covenants, right? And number 2, we said marriage is oneness. Today we're talking about marriage is
ministry.
Thank you. Marriage is ministry.
Yeah.
And that is a very strong word and a very powerful and meaningful word for a lot of people who are in the body of Christ, believers.
Yeah.
Those who understand the concept of ministry, you know, the concept of ministry. And so when we look at marriage, it's not just a covenant thing where, again, like I said, what makes it covenant is not just that we have an agreement between the two people, but we have a third personality.
Yes.
That is in the realm of the spirit, that makes it beyond contract, beyond agreement. It makes it a covenant. And they speak a different language in the realm of the spirit. You are beholden unto them. You have a responsibility to them. In this case, in our case, God is the third personality.
Yes.
In another situation, it could be another deity, another goddess, or whatever the case may be. And that's as that. We're not here to discuss that, right? And then we said marriage is oneness, right? We said marriage is oneness, and we said oneness is about agreement, it's about alignment, and lastly, we said it's about anointing. In other words, that we are drinking from the same well, the same water. And I even went a step further to say beyond the spiritual aspect, marriage is about drinking from the same well, in that we're from the same background, the same culture, we speak the same language, not necessarily like physical language, but like we understand each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And when we talk, it's not a foreign language to each other, right? Today, marriage being ministry, what does that mean to you? If you would explain for us very quickly why or how we see marriage as ministry.
Right. So what comes to mind, right, is, when in Christianity or in our religion, they always say your family is your first ministry, right?
Yeah.
So you think about it and you try to understand what do they mean by that, right? Because in ministry, you serve one another, you serve your flock, so to say. So when they say your family is your first ministry, meaning like even as a pastor or priest or whatever the case may be, the people that are called to you, the people that are your responsibility, you are called to shepherd, you are called to look over them, you are called to protect them, you are called to serve them. So when I hear ministry, that's what I think, right? So marriage being ministry, meaning there is a responsibility bestowed upon each one of us to look at each other, not like, what can you give to me? What can I get from you? It's more like, what can I give? And a lot of people, even in church, you hear people say, I've heard this statement, and I heard it yesterday with one of our friends, and we're discussing ministry. And it's like people go to church with the mentality of, what can the church do for me? And we've talked about this even over the years, many times before. And it's like, really, you should get to a point
Where you're
where
asking.
your mentality is changed, and you should be asking, what can I do for
Yeah.
the church?
It's like, what's that president say? It's not what your country can do for you. It's what you can do for your country.
It literally is exactly that. So in marriage, it's the same concept. It's not what your spouse can do for you.
Yeah.
It's what you can do for your
God.
spouse.
My God.
Vice versa.
My
And that's
God.
what I think when
My
when you
God.
say marriage is ministry.
yes.
Is what am I contributing to my spouse? How do I serve? How do I give? How do I pour into this person that I call my
and
life
you know,
partner?
and you know, the beautiful thing about what you're saying is, essentially, you're removing the selfish factor
Yes.
from marriage,
Yes.
and you are now adopting the mentality of putting somebody first before
other than
yourself.
Yes.
And it's so important that we understand that when we talk about the concept of marriage being ministry, one of the things that marriage is that it eliminates, it is selflessness, and then it is sacrifice.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
it is sacrifice, it is selflessness. And what I mean by sacrifice is really going back to the Christ factor, where Christ is not only, okay, all right, I think I got it now. When we talk about marriage being ministry,
Right.
is one, selflessness, is two, sacrifice, is three, is service.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
Yes. The 3 S.
Yes.
You love dropping
I
them.
do.
Them random letters.
Yes, it's
Last week it was the A's.
This week I think it's the S's.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I got it now.
I see what you're doing.
All right, so and when we talk about, so we've talked about it being selflessness,
Yes.
is where we're still on right
Yes,
now, right?
yes.
And what you're saying essentially is that you've got to just remove yourself and put somebody else in front of you.
Yeah.
And be about their well-being.
Yes.
About wanting to ensure that they are good, right, before yourself.
Yes.
And it is so important because I was talking to my wife the other day, so I did a few things for her, and you know, we're not a family that announces everything,
Yes.
but these are things that, you know, you would
Can be
easily
close to
jump
the
on
heart.
social media and say, you know, this happened and that happened, blah blah, right? And it was quite interesting, right? So I was saying to her that, you know, one of the reasons why I'm doing all this is because I'm in my take care of your wife era.
Come on.
You know what I mean?
And you take care of your wife era.
I'm in my spoil your wife era.
Yes.
You know?
I want that era to last forever.
And she was like, oh yeah, please, let's stay in this era.
And you know the beautiful thing about that is a lot of people, there's a benefit that comes to this selflessness we're talking about, right? And I'm going to tie it to what you're saying right now. Is sometimes people misunderstand what it means. It's not one person alone that has been selfless. If both of you understand the concept, you both benefit. At the end of the day, it is still all about you.
Absolutely.
Because you're being selfless to your spouse and they're doing the same thing, vice versa.
Yeah.
And you both benefit from
Yeah.
it. And one of the beautiful things that I like and what you just said right now is people have to understand that there's time and seasons for
Yeah.
things,
Yeah.
right? And it's not to say he doesn't take care of me or he's never been in his take care of your wife era, but there's levels to it. You understand what I'm saying? There's levels to it. The way you would have taken care of me in the beginning of our marriage would be different from the stage we're in right now, right? So it's like people need to understand really time and seasons for
Different things,
even when it comes to the selflessness of things.
My point. No, sorry, go ahead, finish your
No,
point.
I was just gonna say, even when it comes to the selflessness of things, it looks different
Yeah.
in different times
In
and
different
seasons.
Yes, absolutely. And my point to even saying that was to say that, you know, and like you were saying, in seasons and in times and things like that, the things that I'm able to do now for our family
Yeah.
and for you, right, are obviously not what I was able to do 5, 10, 15, whatever years from now, right? Before,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Before now,
Before now.
you know? But the thing is, even this is where the selflessness come in, right? That now that I'm empowered by God to get wealth, Deuteronomy chapter 8,
Yes.
don't miss it, right? I could selfishly say, it's me time.
Yes.
It's time to take care of me
Exactly.
now. That I've worked all these years. I've done everything. Everything I've done has been for my family.
Exactly.
And now it's time to take care of me. I could have done that. But I've gotten to the point where, catch this now. I've gotten to the point where I get more joy seeing you happy than I do myself. That's the definition of selflessness.
Yes.
That I get more joy
Yes.
seeing you good, seeing you happy,
Yes.
seeing you receiving what you need, than myself.
Yes.
And if we both have that understanding,
Exactly.
you should get more joy
Yes.
seeing me happy
Exactly.
than yourself.
Exactly.
As I do you. And so it's like,
That's ministry.
you follow what I'm saying? That's ministry. It's like,
Yeah.
I would have loved to get this item for myself, and that would have been fine. I would have enjoyed it. I would have been okay, you know what I mean? But the smile on your face will melt my heart, will give me butterflies and bubbles in my stomach.
Bubbles.
You feel me? It would make me like, yeah, okay, all right. I did something,
Yeah.
As opposed to if I was just taking care of myself.
Yes.
I feel like that joy it doesn't last as long as if I saw the joy on your face or on the kid's face
Yes.
or on whoever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's ministry.
That's ministry.
That's ministry.
Yeah.
It's selflessness. Now let's
Yes.
talk about ministry being sacrifice.
And the reason why I love this topic is it ties to what we've spoken about even last week, right? Because when we talked about oneness, it spoke about two individuals coming together as one. And in that, sacrifices had to be made. That's ministry.
Yeah.
So it's the beautiful thing about that is you get to the point in selflessness, you make sacrifices too. So you get to the point where it's like, again, getting out of yourself and not thinking about just me, because in marriage, it's not just you anymore. It's us. So therefore, I need to restructure my mentality to think it's really less about me. It's more about each other. So now how do we get to that point where it's focused on each other?
Yeah.
And sacrifice is a big factor in that,
Sacrifice is a huge factor in that, because what essentially sacrifice is talking about is that idea of being uncomfortable so somebody else can be comfortable.
Yes.
Is that idea of doing the hard things so life can be easier for somebody else.
Yeah.
And what better place to do that than in marriage? Again, service is different from sacrifice in that sacrifice demands that you get out of your comfort zone.
Yes.
It demands that you give sometimes what is you probably don't have, or you don't have enough yourself. It demands that you give of yourself for the saving and the betterment of somebody else.
Yes.
The person who has exemplified that the most is Christ.
Yes.
Literally dying to save his bride.
Yes.
And that's when I think about ministry, I think about that, right? That whole selflessness is also tied into sacrifice.
Absolutely.
Where I would rather you have 2 clothes on your back than to double up on the clothes that I have. I would rather my kids had shining shoes and I was walking barefooted. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not to say that's the case with us to the glory of God. I'm just saying that's what sacrifice looks like.
Yeah.
Sacrifice is ensuring that you have, even if I have to go without for some time. I like that. You follow what I'm saying? It's ensuring that the kids have, even if we have to go without for some time. It's ensuring that we put ourselves to the side for now to make sure that this person is okay. And sometimes it's not always easy to do.
It's not.
But it is the required thing, the necessary thing to do.
Yes.
And you find that in marriage a lot of times. There are times where I want to get myself some things and my wife reminds me, but I don't have A, B, C, and D. And I'm like, you know what? I could pause on this. I want this thing. In fact, I may need it, but you need it more. So let me do for you before I do for myself. There are times where, and this is serious things. Like we've had conversations where we both want to get a certificate in our professional work, and I'm thinking to myself, you know what? Why don't you get it first, and then you go ahead and do whatever you got to do because I already have this other thing.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Or why don't you get your some kind of degree or a certificate or some kind of licensing accomplishment for yourself first, and then I'll do mine after because it's more important. You know, so it's that whole idea of just how can I give myself more for you?
Yes.
How can I give of myself the more for you?
Yes.
You know, in some instances it can look different. Some people may have second jobs. Some people may have three jobs just to provide a certain lifestyle for their family, their wife, their kids. And it means that they are not home all the time. It means that they are constantly working. It may mean that they are constantly, frustrated and tired and just, but it's the sacrifice they're making in the now for the betterment of somebody else, like their spouse, you know. That's what ministry is all about. The sleepless nights, the prayers, the fasting, the working hard, the going hard, the fighting for each other, the defending of each other. All of those things, the late nights, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? The hours of driving, of going to places and getting things done, the shamelessness of putting yourself out there and allowing people to talk trash about you because you want to protect somebody else. Are you following what I'm saying? For men, for example, for me, I don't mind if you talk trash about me or you look at me a certain way in the process of protecting my wife. Go ahead. I would rather you did that to me than to my wife. That's the sacrifice, right? The sacrifice of protecting your spouse despite covering them, despite allowing the shots to be thrown at you, the backstabbing to be happening to you as you are protecting your spouse. You know, that's what sacrifice looks like.
Yes, and it's so important to understand that it's not one way. I keep emphasizing this because sometimes when you hear these things, people kind of are conditioned to think, well, that's what a man is supposed to do, or that's what a woman is supposed to do. In marriage, you got to take the man and the woman out of the picture. Because it's one. It's one. You both have the responsibility to sacrifice for each other, to protect each other, to cover each other. You have the responsibility to serve each other. It is not one person just ripping that benefit because it's not gonna balance. The oneness is not gonna be one in. It's not gonna fit anymore if it's only one person that's benefiting. It works perfectly when two people are benefiting from it.
And this is why we talked about it last week too, drinking from the same well, speaking the same language. Because if I was the only one, selfless and sacrificial and you weren't, then it would mean that we weren't speaking the same language. It would mean that we didn't understand the concept of marriage being ministry. It would mean that it was only one person who got that. And the other person is like, that's what you're supposed to do anyways. No, it's like you said, it's two-sided, And then lastly, we said marriage is service. Talk about that. Come on.
Marriage is service. Every time I hear that, I just think about church, serving in church, how when you're younger, they teach you and they tell you the importance of serving. I think it was a while back, somebody made the illustration like every time you sweep the church, every time you clean up, or every time you serve in church, you're building a house.
For yourself in heaven?
You're building a house for yourself in heaven. And it's interesting because sometimes you see a lot of people pour themselves into service outside of their home. They don't realize that it starts from your home. You go out there and you're willing and happily serving others while you're not even serving your spouse.
Can I just stop here and just say this is, and let me tell you something. For those of you who do this, let me get spiritual very quickly. No, not spiritual. Let me get pastoral very quickly. On a serious note, for those of you, especially women, who serve your pastor more than you serve your husband, you don't even know the hell you're bringing down upon yourself.
Yes.
If your pastor would not tell you this, I'm going to tell you.
Yes.
You are doing yourself a disservice, and you think you're serving the interests of God by serving your pastor and then neglecting your husband.
Ah, come on.
You don't even know.
Yes.
You don't even know the curse that you're raining down upon yourself.
Yes.
Let me tell you right now, even as a pastor, if I saw a female member of our church, of our community, who was all up on me talking about, I want to serve my pastor, the first thing I'm going to ask you is, what is your relationship with your husband? Because I don't do that.
And even
that's not what we're doing over here.
Even the pastors, you are given the responsibility to also serve your flock, right? You're shepherding them, which service is included in that. But many times you yourself neglect your home. Everybody has a responsibility to serve their spouse and serve their children. It starts from the home. What you're doing out there, it should be a reflection of what's happening in your first ministry. So a lot of times people miss that and they pour out themselves so much to others that they forget to start with the one next to them, laid up next to them. You have a responsibility to serve your spouse. And it goes both ways. It's not just the women serving, it's also the husband serving. And you said something, I think it was yesterday or sometime this week, and you said the blessing that comes from taking care of your spouse. I mean, you said your wife because you were talking about something specific. But he pretty much said people don't understand the blessing that comes from taking care of your wife or your spouse. I don't think people get it.
No, because it's coming from where the Bible says, it says, he who finds a wife finds favor with the Lord.
With the Lord, exactly.
It's when you take care of your wife, favor flows.
Yes.
When you take care of your spouse, favor flows.
Yes.
That's really just that concept. And I want to make the distinction between sacrifice
and
service. Sacrifice is going out of your way to do something for somebody else. Is bending backwards to ensure the
uncomfortable.
Exactly.
Yes.
For somebody else. Service is not necessarily sacrifice or going out of your way or being uncomfortable. Service is not about comfortability. Many times service is about convenience. Sacrifice deals with comfortability in that it makes you uncomfortable sometimes. You know, you would rather be sleeping, but I have to be up right now so I can do A, B, C, and D. But service, sometimes we find time in our schedule per convenience to go and serve. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that's the difference. But service is not, it doesn't mean service is easy now.
Yes.
It's still work, but it's different in the concept and the understanding of the two.
Yeah.
Because service looks like me taking care of you, ensuring your well-being. Service looks like me bringing myself lower to wash your feet, for example. That's not sacrifice, that's service. And Jesus served his disciples. He got down on his knees and he washed their feet. He fed them. He gave them things to drink. He gave them food. He ensured service could look like me taking the kids to school instead of you taking the kids to school.
Yeah.
Service looks like me standing with you in the kitchen as you're cooking.
Right.
Service looks like me saying, you handle the cooking, I handle the dishwashing.
Right.
Service looks like me, for lack of a better word, if you want to say it that way, in Nigeria, where we're from, we have this, almost every household in Nigeria has a maid. The moment you get to a certain tax bracket in Nigeria and you have a certain income bracket, one of the first things we do once we get some money is we hire drivers, a gate man, and a maid.
3 important factors.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? And so everything a maid would do, just understand that Now, you're doing it with your spouse or for your spouse or to your spouse, ensuring that they are not alone. Service is help.
Yes.
Service is help.
Yes.
It's coming from the help ministry.
Yes.
I'm trying to make the distinction between service and sacrifice.
I want to say, correct me if I'm wrong, sacrifice, you have to give up something. In sacrifice, you're giving up something for the betterment of something.
Service is help. Sacrifice hurts. Service helps. Sacrifice hurts.
Because it takes something.
Exactly. It's not sacrifice if it doesn't hurt.
Right.
It's not sacrifice if it doesn't pinch.
But service don't have to hurt.
But
service
is
giving.
to help.
Right.
Service is towards the helping of somebody else. I don't need to hurt to help you.
To help you.
You follow what I'm saying?
Giving.
I'm just giving. I'm just helping. I'm just serving.
But sacrifice, I gotta give. I gotta put something away.
It hurts. It's because think about sacrifice like offering.
Yes.
And not just putting money in the basket. I'm talking about making an offering.
Yeah. Like
Abraham and Isaac.
Yeah. That was exactly right.
You feel me? That hurts. That hurts.
That one hurt. Thank God was like, it's okay.
That hurts, you know?
Yeah.
By the time you're done sacrificing, something hurts.
Something.
Your body hurts. Your wallet hurts. You know, it hurts.
You do this for
There's a pinch with sacrifice.
But service is just giving.
It's from the help ministry. I'm helping you. You know, and
it comes from within. You don't have to sacrifice anything to serve.
Yeah.
You're just
pouring
out.
Yeah. You get what I'm saying? So I just wanted to make that quick distinction right quick so we understand what ministry is all about. You know what I mean?
So let's recap before we close.
So ministry to us, marriage first and foremost is ministry. And what we mean by ministry is that ministry or marriage is all about selflessness.
Yes.
It's all about sacrifice.
Yes.
And it's all about service to one another.
Yeah.
And before we close, I'm just going to say this. If we can master these three things, master it so well, there is nobody else that we cannot serve, be selfless towards, sacrifice for.
Yes.
Because the beautiful thing about marriage is that marriage is the one thing that perfectly reflects or expresses the relationship between Christ and the church.
Yes.
God and his children.
Yes.
Marriage is the perfect picture. The perfect marriage is the right marriage. Ain't no perfect marriage. The right marriage is the perfect picture of the perfect God.
Yes.
And the relationship between him and his children. Hallelujah.
All
right. Anything else?
That's it. Let's go.
All right. Now, I think we have exhausted. All right. We're going to talk about it again next week, what marriage is to us. Yes. Don't miss it for anything. I hope we've shared a tip or two to help solidify your kingdom union, not only with the person of self, but also with others, and most importantly, with God on today.
Yes. Don't forget to like, share with your friends and family, hit that subscribe button, and comment down below.
And until next time, be the light. And remember, all things are possible if you believe. Love you with the love of God. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.